Welcome and welcome back, everybody. Tabletop Toki here, and in today's video, we'll be doing a solo playthrough of ExoShips from designer Kevin Sylves. During the course of the playthrough, I'll give a tutorial about how the game is played, and be sure you stick around for the end of the video where I share my thoughts about the game in general. A huge shout out to the folks over at We Heart Games for sending me a copy for review so that I can share it with y'all here today. But without further ado, let's get started. Here's the game of ExoShip set up and ready to play. Over the course of the game, we'll be staging a takeover on La Oruga. We'll be attempting to convert the passengers from Directorate founders into Rift founders and change the course of the ship from Mariposa to Axios. If we're able to convert 6 points worth of founders to Rift founders by the time we reach Axios, we will have won the game. However, if we are not able to convert 6 points worth of founders, or we are unable to change the destination from Mariposa to Axios, then we will have lost the game. So for setup, we're going to start by setting up our origin, which is Earth for this game, and La Oruga, the ship, as well as putting out our crew. Founders will be broken into 3 categories: elders, midlife, and young founders. And these represent the different generations of passengers aboard the ship as it travels to its destination. We'll also randomly set out 5 of the event cards using the fronts and backs of the event cards. And for our founders, we'll place 2 in each column of elder, midlife, and young, and they will all start on the Directorate side. Each round is going to be broken up into 4 phases: moving, events, actions, and suspicion. During the move phase, La Oruga will move 1 card towards its destination. However, in the first round, we'll just be starting at Earth. Then we'll have an event phase where we trigger any relevant text, and we'll check to see if the top row founder in the column shown on the event card is a Rift founder. If so, they will be discarded. During the action phase, we'll first check to see if we only have Directorate founders, in which case we'll be able to sway the lowest ranked founder of our choice to the Rift side. Then we'll be able to perform 2 actions, which could be to sway a card, making sure that a Rift arrow is pointing to it. We can change it to its Rift side, use the ability of a Rift founder, replace a Rift founder with a new one from the deck, or we can change the course of Mariposa, provided that our highest ranked elder is of Rift orientation. After that, we'll have a suspicion phase where any arrows on Directorate cards pointing to Rift founders will then switch them back to the Directorate side. And that's all we need to know to get started. So we're just going to jump in here to our first turn. So since we're at Earth, we have Seeds of Discontent. Sway the lowest ranked founder of the generation of your choice. And looking here, these 2 are pointing towards each other. This one is the only one that seems like it would be a good idea for here. Now, the elders that pass away will come in with new young founders of a similar type. But I think we want to start working on some of these over here potentially. Or influence arrow of 1 Rift founder points in the opposite direction this turn. Sway the lowest ranked founder in the generation of your choice, then flip this card. Oh, so he's a double agent. Okay. We do really want to get as many as we can. So perhaps we will sway Natalia Wu. So we'll flip her over to the Rift side. And then we are going to go ahead and proceed to the action phase. So for our first action, says the influence on this founder points in the direction of your choice. So we could sway Pax here and pretend the arrow's flipping this way using 1, 2 actions to sway. And I think we might go ahead and do... By the time that moves here, though, she'll be in this position, which means that it won't do as much good. So I think what we'll do is we'll sway Sebas, and we can also use his ability to discard the lowest ranked founder in the generation of our choice, which I think will get rid of Ivan here. So he will go to the bottom of our stack, Directorate side up. The suspicion phase, we don't have any Director arrows pointing towards Rift founders, so we're okay there. We're going to move on to round 2. So La Oruga will advance 1 on the track. Any elders will be discarded and replaced with young founders of the same affiliation. So we'll get 1 young founder there. And since we have less than 6 cards, we'll also replenish to 6 with the Directorate side showing for those. Our event is replace each midlife founder from highest to lowest rank. So when we replace, they're going to be of the same affiliation as well. So we have a Directorate, and then we have a Rift. And again, checking here, Pax is not on the Rift side, so we do not have to discard them. All right, and we have 2 actions now. So we could sway Sophia, but Eduardo will change her back during suspicion phase. And if we change packs, they'll be replaced with a Rift founder, which will get discarded here. But what we can do to try to change, I was going to say it would be 1-2 to change packs over, but then we don't have another one to switch over our destination. So unfortunately, that would be 3 actions instead of just 2, which is not ideal. The captain will get discarded. Move any midlife founder to the young generation. That's not super helpful. So if we move her, then we can also convert Gray Bernal, which might be our best bet. I'm not sure if that will really help us, but we'll try it out. And the influence arrow on one adjacent founder points to the direction of your choice this turn. So that is not super helpful as of right now, but we'll just slide these up like so. Okay, so we're going to move on to our suspicion phase. There are no Directorate arrows pointing towards Rift characters, so we're fine there. We're going to move La Oruga over, discard the captain, but we'll have to switch these out first. So we have a Directorate, and then we have a Rift card there. All right. We're going to discard the captain, which is the highest ranked elder. Ooh, so that's not super great. We had 6, so we're good there. But now we have to go into our action phase. So we don't currently have a captain in order to change the Mariposa over. If we are able to convert Eduardo, though, that might be good to do. Or if we move a midlife founder to the young generation, then this card here, Gray, would be the captain for next round. So I think we'll do that and activate Tammy's power. So we're moving Eduardo over here. And then we can use Valentina to convert him to the Rift side as well. Moving on. So we don't have any elders to discard, which means we also won't have a young generation, which is pretty unique. And Ivan is not Rift affiliated, so we're fine there. We only have 1 action this turn because we're in an ion storm. So we're going to use Gray as the captain with Rift affiliation to switch our destination planet to Axios. All right, it's looking pretty okay. And during our suspicion phase, only Ivan is pointing up. So as far as points go, our highest ranked founders will be worth 2 points, then 1 point for our next rank, and then 0. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4 points. We would need 6 in order to win. So we're going to move on to the next round. Okay, so Gray and Tammy are going to get discarded and replaced with young founders, Ellie and Sebas. So we can replace an adjacent founder. Influence arrow on one Rift founder points in the opposite direction this turn. Not super helpful. Elder founder to midlife. We're going to use, we have to do this first. So influence arrows extend beyond adjacent founders. Oh, interesting. Okay. So if we had an arrow pointing this way, for example, like with Pax over here, we could influence Ivan. And unfortunately, Ellie's discarded because of this. Oh, not great. Oh, and that was the power we wanted to use. Shoot. Okay. So the other option of what we could do is we could replace some of the founders and hope to get something more advantageous. But again, if Ivan is converted, they'll just get discarded here. So I think what we'll do, we can use this one to have the influence arrow of one Rift founder point the opposite direction. And then we can use this paired with the extending beyond adjacent founders for Sebas to convert Ivan. And then we're at 5 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, that's not enough. So we'll have to go over one more. And we're 1 away from Axios. So we really need to make sure that we are trying our best here. So these 3, Ivan, Valentina, and Eduardo, will be discarded and replaced. I'm just going to put Axios here with 3 young founders of the Rift affiliation. Okay, and Pax is going to be discarded. These will slide up. Oh, wait. Before we do that, though, we have to have 6 cards out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down here. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then Pax will be discarded. So we really need some stuff to happen. So we have influence arrow on this founder points in the direction of your choice this turn. Move any young founder to the elder generation, which we'll probably end up doing with these. Let's see, replace any adjacent founder or the influence arrow of one rift founder points in the opposite direction this turn. We won't be able to convert them, unfortunately, but I think we have to do that just so we have a couple more up top that we can hopefully convert once we get to Axios. And maybe we'll do that twice so that they'll be over here instead of underneath. I think that's what we want to do. And no Directorate arrows are pointing toward rift characters. So then we're going to proceed to our final destination, which is Axios. And this is our setup. So these two will become discarded and replaced with two other cards like so. All right, and let's see. We have to swap some people. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we skip the event phase. Nobody gets discarded. So we're going to use Natalia to convert Gray. And we're going to use Gray then to convert Tammy. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points, which is 6 or more. We don't have anything crazy going on in the suspicion phase because we managed to convert everybody over to the rift side, which means we have successfully taken over La Oruga and piloted it to Axios, thereby winning us the game. So there you have it. That is a solo playthrough of ExoShip. Although the sci-fi theme is not one that necessarily appeals to me, I do think that the theme is very well integrated into this 18-card game. The tension of trying to sway founders from Directorate to the Rift affiliation really does have that tense back and forth. And that little detail of having the arrows pointing to the cards in the grid and how the grid shifts and how you can manipulate it makes for a really satisfying puzzle. The variability with having the different events throughout the playthrough, as well as the different abilities on each founder card, also make for some really interesting decisions from play to play. I love the tense nature and build up as you see La Oruga progressing closer and closer to Mariposa or Axios, and knowing that you need to get a captain in the seat in order to switch it over, despite the fact that the mechanics are very puzzly and very abstract and that it's such a small package. I think they did a really amazing job of pulling the theme across and making it feel very integrated and immersive. So trust me when I say that as somebody who's not necessarily attracted to this theme, the puzzle in and of itself is just really spectacular. When I got this game, I played through it twice the first evening that it arrived, and as I was drifting in and out of sleep that night, I felt my brain going through the motions of thinking about the founders flipping over and like what configurations they would be in, which is a really good sign when it comes to enjoying the mechanics and feeling like there are a lot of very satisfying decisions in how those come together. Overall, this is a fantastic micro game and one that I would absolutely recommend whether you're attracted to the theme, puzzling mechanics, or a combination of the two. And that's all the time we have for today. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please feel free to give it a like, and you can also subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any other solo party videos. Thanks as always for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.